Okay, hello again. I'm going to put out a quick challenge to all the scientists, all the PhD, uh, educated people, Nobel Prize winners, whatever. It's about time that you came up with any valid support for your belief in evolution, your belief that natural causes made everything there is. We know for a fact that no natural thing is going to significantly sequence any written directives of any kind, to make a working mechanism of any kind. We know that doesn't happen. We know that elements and matter are simply not able to significantly sequence anything. Now, your whole belief, entire belief, is based on the random chance that maybe it would make all the different, very different kinds of life forms. The problem is that you have no valid mechanism for transforming any life form, any organism. Organisms are stasis. They don't change. They have variations of their own kind. They don't change it to any other kind. That is the evidence that we have. We don't have evidence of any morphing of any kind, uniform morphing of any kind. Variations, sure. You'll have bigger claws, smaller claws, whatever. But you're not going to have a morphing. It's not going to turn into a wing. But, you have all these people slamming all these Christians, discriminating against people that say that there's a maker, that's what the evidence shows. The evidence shows that there's a maker. That's the only evidence that we have. What you have is not evidence. You don't have any evidence that objects made you, or that environment made you, transformed you, gave you a mind. You don't have any evidence for that. You don't even have time for that. And even if you did have time, it would never happen. And the time that you think you do have, you don't even have. You don't even have billions of years. Because time is a relative fabrication that's expanded. The same as space. The space we see is a relative fabrication that expanded. Time expanded from no time the same way that space expanded from no space. So where does that leave us? It means that you can't know there's billions of years out there because it's expanded time and expanded space. That's what the evidence is showing us. The evidence is showing us that there's limited time and nothing to make us other than a supernatural maker. The supernatural maker is the only possible way because you have to have wisdom, you have to have understanding, you have to know everything. Not only do you have to know everything, you have to have all power. So that's where the evidence is shown. That's where the evidence is. The evidence is not with your fantasy that matter made itself programmable and programmed itself inside of you. That's fantasy. That's not science. Science is what you can know, and you can't know what doesn't happen, what doesn't occur, what's impossible to happen. It doesn't even happen once, and you need to have a billions and trillions of times in succession this chance that you believe in. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Everything, every material thing is relative and subject to change. So you can't know anything for sure about the matter that you're looking at because it's subject to change. It's entirely subject to change. It is what it's forced to be. It only does what it's directed to do. That's evidence of a maker. That's not evidence of chance. So it's about time you wise guys come up with your evidence before you start slamming Christians, before you start knocking people and discriminating against people because they say that all the evidence shows we have a maker. Because all the evidence does show we have a maker. And you have nothing. You have nothing. No evidence whatsoever. You have nothing to stand on. So stop your nonsense. Goes for all you PhDs, all you scientists, all you Nobel laureates, whatever. You have nothing. Nothing. That's it. So grow up.